Can you tell me why do my roses wilt like this? Hi Johnny, thank you so much for your question, and thank you so much for attaching the photo. For all the people that are asking me a ton of questions, you know, specifically in regards to your roses, and if you can attach the photo, that's always helpful, because if I can't get an actual visual of your rose, it's very hard for me to tell what is actually going on. So thank you so much for this. This is very helpful. First of all, do not panic. This is really common. I'm seeing two things that are happening here. Number one, as you can see, there is this white coat of like fuzziness on your foliage. And it's actually not super severe because it can't get much worse. You can see like thick coating of fuzziness. That means that you have powdery mildew. That usually happens when, you know, the weather is constantly wet, if it rains a lot. If it had, you know, if you're experiencing cooler temperature plus the rain, or humidity plus the rain, often that could happen. So this is very common, and at the stage where you are, you know, it's definitely treatable. I want to talk about the second thing that I'm seeing here before I dive into treatment, okay? The second thing is another very common thing. I'm seeing a very, it's you have to look at it close up. I'm seeing a very light coat of grayish brown fuzziness kind of at the base, the cup of your rose bud, and it's kind of on the outer layer of the very outer layer of your petals as well. This is actually a good example of what we call Botrytis blight, and this can happen to roses, fruits and vegetables, you name it. And Botrytis blight, just like powdery mildew, it's another fungal disease. And like I mentioned, with, you know, cooler temperature, humidity, wetness, all of that in combination could contribute to the result of what you're seeing here. But do not worry, this is very much treatable as long as you know, spot it early, do preventional steps, and treat it as you go, okay? Now we're going to talk about treatment. The first portion of treatment, I want to talk about prevention. And this is going to need you to start observing your weather. And that's really the number one lesson I'm going to teach you besides watering is watch the weather. If you know that it's going to be rain season, where you're going to get a ton of moisture hitting your roses, I would take precaution and really just begin your treatment 2 weeks prior, before you know that rain season is going to start to arrive. So yeah, if you can watch the weather closely, that's going to reduce your chances of getting fungal diseases and to reduce the severity of it. So prevention, it's so important. Take notes on that. Now let's move on to action. I only use 2 products for all of the fungal issues. All of them, you name them. I only use 2 products. I've mentioned it before. It's all linked in my bio. One is the Dr. Earth fungicide. The other one is the Captain Jack's copper fungicide. Both of these are great, are wonderful. I don't like to buy a bunch of different fungicide or fertilizer or all kinds of stuff and mix it and overcomplicate things when I don't need to, because roses are just like humans, you know. If you overdo it, sometimes, you know, the rose itself is going to start rejecting and you won't see much results. And that's when you know if you were to use one product over a long period of time and it starts to not work as well, you know, compared to before, you know, on the rose, that's when you know you might want to move on to a different product to see a better result. Now the direction on these 2 products, I've talked about it before, just like watering and, you know, and spraying pesticides, fungicides, the same. Please try to use it early in the morning before the sun comes up, or late in the evening is what I prefer, because number one, the leaves are not going to burn with a solution, you know, on top of all the foliage. And you do want to you do want to cover the top of the leaves, the bottom, the underside of it. Coat as much as you can the entirety of the plant with the solution, okay? And once you apply that in the evening or early in the morning, it's going to have proper time to cure on the leaves. And let's say if it does rain after you apply it, just reapply after. And you will want to, you know, depending on the severity of the symptoms, you will want to apply it 7 to 10 days in a row, at least once a day. Diseases like this are manageable as long as you know, observe it. This is why I say, you know, walking your garden, looking at your roses is so important on a daily basis. That way you can catch it as early as possible to start treatment before it starts spreading. It's so especially important when you know it's going to be, you know, the weather is going to be cool, wet, with a lot of moisture. And as you know, with all funguses travel through the wind. You know, if you get a lot of wind, and this is currently happening, and you don't take actions in severe cases, you know, these foliage will start curling and wilting. It'll eventually die off, and there's no way to save them. You know, the only thing that you can do to recover is to treat it, let those leaves fall off naturally. You'll eventually see new leaves start growing back again. And the same thing goes with the infected rose buds or the rose blooms. You know, in that case, you might want to just deadhead it and make sure you dispose it in the trash can somewhere covered to ensure that these fungus does not get blown away and transported onto other roses that you have. If you made it this far, I know it's a lot of information. Make sure you save it. This is something everybody will experience. It doesn't matter where you live. So like always, take notes, be patient. Roses can be sometimes, you know, a little finicky, but that is okay. I think the final results when you see it bloom is so rewarding. It makes it totally worth it. And I wish you all the best, Johnny. You're gonna be all right. Let me know how it works for you. I would love to hear from you in the comment section. And like I always say, happy planting. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.